All right, welcome back, everyone. We're on season 11, or no, season 3, episode 11, or something.
Season 11.
We're on season 11. This is episode 64. Recording has been really screwed up for a while, guys, but I think we got it worked out. Let's do a quick recap of the last 9 seasons.
I think I missed a few episodes, so.
No, I
or
think
seasons.
I'm pretty sure you were there. I'm pretty sure you were there.
In one form or another.
Well, turns out we saved the day, guys.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Go us.
All right, so when we plane shifted from Aok Island to the Forgotten Realms,
we were just really desperate to get back to an IP we all understand.
Oh, God. All right. What actually happened last time?
What actually happened last time?
Stone went a little crazy at the beginning and got possessed by the ghost of his dead ancestor and tried to kill an Astas. That was interesting.
Mm-hmm. That was
also
and
rather importantly,
for one of the first times ever, our recap begins with the first thing that happened. So that's neat.
Chronology.
Also, important note is that Stone killed a bunch of the Najit. But
we found out later that Stone had become possessed by the spirit of Chains of the High Wall while he was trying to connect to the Shrine of Ernan and killed a whole shitload of Najit in the graveyard where he was.
Which is no good.
No, it was bad. And then showed up outside the wall, in the ruins of what's his face's shop? Nikolaus's shop. And then tried to kill an Astas as Chains. Was eventually talked down by all the other members of the party. Then failed to be invisible for the entire rest of the session.
Why?
Because of that, because of the disturbance that he suffered by being possessed by Chains of the High Wall. So basically, everything is really out of whack in his world right now.
Yeah. And Stone, let's not forget. Well, I guess we can talk about that in a sec. Stone is at almost max temporary corruption all the time.
He's not the only one almost at max temporary corruption all of the time.
Because what happened next, folks?
We traveled to the shrine of not Barulo, of Banat, following a blood trail, right? Or following some kind of a trail of the creature that y'all had fought the previous session.
Shifter.
The skin shifter.
It was a corrupt Indara. And when we got there, there was a kind of gross pool of black Icarus goo, and we decided that in order to get the blessing, someone would have to eat it. We debated for a bit, and Dorian stepped up to the plate and consumed it, and Dorian is no longer able to cast magic.
Because Dorian is also almost
you can't.
His corruption threshold.
I am 1 point away at all times, and every time you cast a spell, you take 1d4 temporary corruption, which would put me over the threshold no matter what I cast.
Gives you more permanent corruption.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can.
And then you basically cascade your way up to becoming an abomination.
Yeah.
If you're gonna cast magic right now, it needs to be for a really fucking good reason. Really good reason.
Yeah. So
we did
pretty high on our list is hoping to find some way to get rid of some of this corruption on both of our magic users.
Casters.
Be less of a heretic. I don't know.
Be better. I don't know. I don't know what you want.
Sounds fine with it.
Where did we go next?
So then after that, we went onwards to the Basilica of Saint Destolt. In where we were able to open the door right away, no guards.
Kirk.
And then we found praying in front of the altar of the pilgrim, a across from the shattered remains of his fellow soldier, Kirk, the Rust Knight, who told us, "Hey, you know what? I'm vibing with y'all. I'm rocking with y'all. I
Specifically
don't.
with Anastas.
I was given an order that I could not. Complete, and that order was to kill the supplicants. And also, there's the secret passage, and that's where the evangelist went. And you should go hunt his bitch ass down and take care of him. And I will guard the exit.
And lo, we did.
And lo, we did, with Dorian absolutely making his bread from the bones of the Spider Queen skeleton monster. We exploded that. Anastas hunted.
Alexander exploded it. And
yeah, he did one of those Monster Hunter spin down the side of the monster with his dual blades.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was rad.
It
did come back.
Hunted down the evangelist. I found him, and then it was Alexander again that smited the non-believer.
Alexander's just been filled with inspiration at meeting one of the most famous assassins of all time.
Basically, yeah.
We gotta show up to rock with Nadim. We took the remains to the shrine of Queenot, also known as the Den of Nadim, and Alexander was able to bring his prize over yonder. Then what happened, Alexander?
I took on the blessing of
which does
Tyveriel.
Of Tyveriel, yes.
Oh no! So Tyveriel. So that's a separate thing. There was a shrine also.
Queenot. I was Queenot. Excuse me.
Yeah. There was also Tyveriel's shrine that you had last time.
In between Queenot's shrine and was Tyveriel's.
Yeah. I took on Queenot's blessing, which is a single-use max. Max on all damage rolls for one single turn.
Oh yeah, what does Banats do?
Makes him unnoticeable to corrupted creatures.
Yeah. Yep. Well, not unnoticeable, but
they're non-aggressive.
They are noticed as one of them.
Yeah. Yes, I'm seen as one of them.
Which I really should have.
We missed the part where we got absolutely stumped by this
the Tyveriel
puzzle.
Yeah.
And then I think we solved it correctly for every wrong reason that could possibly have been.
I disagree. I think you solved it exactly as it was supposed to be solved.
Okay.
Which was that you looked at the riddle and you said, "There's got to be something more to this." You looked around and you found a lever that opened the door.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. We just
went
on we need to solve this riddle.
We lucked into the
lever.
We lucked into the solution.
We were
we were trying to what does this word 40. Mean?
You get the number of syllables in that guy's name.
Oh my god. Yes. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time trying to suss that out. Yeah.
We did it.
We did. We got there.
And then we got Queenot's blessing, and then so we ended up in the back room of the Kiln of 10,000 Voices, and we decided that we were gonna part ways. It was time for Anastas to actually try and sit down and talk with Marana, the Archbishop of Diocese Order. It was time for us to track down Lyra and the fugitives and Constantine. And we sent Alexander, Dorian, and an undisguised Stone through the catacombs where it would be safer for them to travel. And Anastas took the opportunity to splinter while they were in the upper city. And then the cliffhanger was...
We were passing by, I believe, a clock tower. And within that clock tower, kind of silhouetted, was the form of
Lyra, along with just behind her, the assassin that we witnessed killing a Najit when we first left the
Hadron
catacombs.
assassin.
Tanari
Specifically,
assassin.
Tanari Hadron.
Tanari.
And that is where we are going to begin.
Okay.
So, well, I guess we have a choice. Do you guys want to start with Anastas, or do you want to start?
I think while we have Don here, we should start with Lyra.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna need to go anywhere.
Okay.
Things have gone better. So
We can start with
I
Don.
think that we should start with whichever. Well, we should do second, whichever one is going to narratively carry us forward, like as a group. I guess I don't know.
Let's do Anastas first.
Okay.
That's what we talked about doing last time.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Anastas. So you are in the Kiln of 10,000 Voices, the chanting of the chorus that forms sort of the triumvirate's thinking mind is murmuring around you in this holy, otherwise quiet chamber, and you are filled with a sense of reverence and awe as usual when entering this chamber. You pass through it. Is there anything you want to do in the kiln before we move on?
I take a second to contemplate. Take a second to gauge if the triumvirate is inevitably the ultimate leader for the Najit.
Ooh, okay. What are Talon's thoughts on that?
Talon thinks that they could be a excellent choice, but there is this looming sense of doubt that they are indeed pure Velastri.
Okay. Interesting. As you leave the chamber, the thought enters your mind that it does not have to be the triumvirate. There are other options out there, and perhaps you could be going to speak with one of those options right now.
Not untrue.
You cross the large square outside the palace between the four basilicae towards the Basilica Order, wreathed in gold, large arches and towers, where you'd been just a few days before. You are met by the two guards outside again. Do you remember what you were supposed to do?
I am to ask for the constable directly.
Yes.
Yes.
So
I approach the two guards. Hail, gods of the diocese.
They nod to you but are silent.
I am here to see the High Constable for counsel.
They turn to each other. One nods, and he heads inside a small door, leaving you outside with the other guard. The other guard, looks you up and down, but otherwise does not address you in any way and just stares forward. A few moments later, the first guard returns, and the constable, whose name is Alexei, Constable Alexei something, ushers you in. Alexei Pierce ushers you in and into a side room very quickly. He is nervously looking down halls, and he quickly pulls you into a side room that has like a small little area for the lighting of candles. This seems to be like a private, like prayer room sort of thing. My friend, we have problems.
Unfortunately, that is what I have come to discuss. You first, I suppose.
I am afraid that you will not be able to meet with Lady Morana today.
For why?
She has other matters to attend to, although she will be meeting with you, just not here.
That stands to reason, but situations in Kostrop, as you must know, are becoming more grave by the moment.
Indeed.
The situation in the Hodgen Graves, I only know what transpired, I know not its effects.
Yes, it is a situation, to be sure, but there are other matters as well. I believe that there is a spy in Morana's court. Someone loyal to the Pontiff, and not to Order or to the Najit. For this we must be very, very careful. Word has already begun to spread that you cannot be trusted.
I assumed that would happen sooner or later. The Pontiff has eyes, as I assumed. How will I know when Morana will speak? We must make serious plans of engagement.
Morana will speak with you tonight at midnight in the old temple gardens at the base of the wall.
On the exterior?
No, interior, at the base of the interior wall.
Understood.
In the Low City.
I will meet her there.
Be careful, Anastas. There are eyes everywhere, and your position is now more tenuous than it has been since arriving here in Karstop.
I knew this would happen. I accepted my fate. I wish not to... No, never the matter. I will meet her there. Should I be alone?
It would be preferable.
Then alone I shall be. I am giving you a great deal of trust, Constable Alexei.
I understand. If you could provide more information on the situation in the graves, it would make my position quite a bit easier.
There is a Hadron compatriot, a worshipper of Isho, one who has dedicated themselves to the protection of mankind, who had found themselves otherwise possessed. As we struggle with the Velociteri, it would seem this Hadron struggles with the ghosts of their ancestors the same. This individual almost met an early death at my hand, outside the wall. That is all I know, though I can tell you, perhaps you remember, the spirit of Chains of the High Wall still holds anger in these lands.
I understand.
It will be my responsibility to control this one. It was not in our plan, nor in our arrangement, that such problems would be caused so early.
You anticipate there will be more problems?
I anticipate there will be more problems for Kostrop, yes.
What would you
Whether or
have
not
me
it's
do?
from us. Say again.
What would you have me do?
I wish not to put you too far out of position, any further than you've already gone. If there were any way to lighten the presence of Order's patrols in the lower city, that would be helpful. Perhaps it is known that the creature was last seen in Koshtok Township. Could
You
be
want me
helpful.
to spread my forces outside of the city?
So they are not forced to interact with us. I wish none of your men to die. Are you also aware of what happened for the Basilica of Saint Istolt?
I've been told of nothing. What has happened?
I take it from one of the Diocese Might soldiers that is still loyal to my cause, our cause, that the evangelist was given order to execute the supplicants outside the gates. Dozens, if not hundreds, of corpses lay dead.
Who gave the order?
We know not. Only that it was not the evangelist. His dying words were that he was only following them.
Interesting. I will send men to look into this. Thank you for letting me know. Now, you should be gone as quick as you can. I do not wish to arouse any further suspicion.
Understood.
And with that, he escorts you back to the door, and before you leave, just says, Anastas, be careful. Very, very careful.
The light be with you, High Constable.
The door closes behind you.
Anastas takes steps through the golden upper city and grasps the wheel off of their back and kind of stares longingly into it as they walk towards the lower city to try and reconvene with their compatriots, and has a bit of a mental dialogue with themselves and the wheel. There's a void where once my heart laid rest. My heart was in the skin and sinew we rendered, the flesh and bone that was milled between us, you and I. Puridicita, great silver edge, how blemished thou hast become, polished now by the blood of mine kin that stains you deeply. I swear, by your spokes we will drink in this corruption, that it may be cleansed by her light and by our fire. That divine hate that once excused our actions, the rage that fueled our strikes, now points towards, inwards, upwards. Anastas glances at the high cathedral. We are a wheel that can only turn forwards. Forwards unto justice. May justice bleed into this void. May it drown our sins and salt these strange lands with hope. And now we march once more into the breach, once more to steal a soul from bone. We are war makers. We are Anastas, knight of the wheel, sword of the pilgrim, and shield of the chosen. Together, the Velastri will be knelt. And continues to the lower city.
Anastas, you had been planning on meeting with Nekitus at one point.
I had been.
Have you given thought to how and when that is going to happen?
Really
could try to stop by any old time, I suppose.
It's up to you.
We're in the high city.
Before you leave the high city, with Alexi's warning in mind, it occurs to you that if word goes out that you are no longer to have free movement, it will suddenly become much more difficult to get into the high city.
Anastas will take that thought and heed it, and will take the opportunity now.
Excellent. So you, before heading out of the high city, you turn towards the red iron fortress that is Basilica Might, the Basilica of the Conqueror, to meet with the not the master of your order, but the archbishop of your sect, I guess.
Yeah.
Nekitus. All right, the rest of you are in the Low City right now, staring up at Miroslav Tower. Miroslav Tower stands quiet sentinel beside the high wall. The twin clock faces on its summit are dim and still. The tower itself is made entirely of stacked columns and statues, many of them worn or defaced, just hollow remembrance of the Hadra and the Aoka once venerated here. The doorway, a soaring edifice of ancient wood and iron carved just as intricately as the marble around, is faded and marred. Near the base of it are deep wounds from axes and rams from when the Najit first stormed the sanctuary those hundreds of years ago. While the rest of Karstop, unlike the rest of Karstop, Miroslav Tower has not been rebuilt, and stands as a reminder of what came before. To Stone, it is a warning against crossing these lifeless creatures. What would you all like to do?
So we literally just saw Lyra.
You saw Lyra
Tanari.
up there. The Tanari appeared behind her, and then there was like a flickering torch or a candle or something that was like illuminating the inside that went out, and you saw them no longer.
We have to get over there now.
Are you entirely certain that it was her? I mean,
Who else could it have been? What other? Not too many other humans flying around out here.
all right. Let's be careful.
Yes, I think we should be careful. I am not certain that you should come initially.
You mean I should be discreet?
I am saying that a Hadran assassin might kill you without a thought. I may at least hold their attention long enough to understand what the situation is.
And we better hope Lyra's still alive.
I could at least try to be a translator and an interpreter between us if it may speak Indaran and not the common tongue. I also have the blessing of Tenzin, who was highly revered
That
among
may
their
hold
people.
some sway. Yes.
Stone,
all
as
go.
you are nearing the tower, you feel a familiar buzz in the air. As you become more attuned to the Aoka, you can sense that there's a shrine nearby.
Well, either way, my footsteps lead me there. Come with me if you wish, or stay here.
Let's go.
And he's gonna start walking.
Alexander's already walking too.
The door is heavy. Stone, your large corroded frame is able to pull it open, but it would not be easy for a human to do so.
Interesting, and the door was closed, huh?
The door is closed, yes. Inside, Miroslav Tower is filled with gears and pulleys. You walk out into a like a flat room that's covered in debris and like refuse. In a corner is piled up bones and bodies. Bones primarily. Many of them large, huge femurs and a skull the size only of which could have fit a Korovid. Dozens of bodies, all stacked up neatly in the corner. Above you is a large mobile of hanging marble stones. Some of them spheres, some of them are iron cages that surround like lanterns suspended in them, and they're all at like various levels, but pretty close to the earth. This is like a 5 or a 6 story room that you're in right now, and most of them have settled near the bottom. A winding ramp goes up the walls, made out of stone, like set into the walls, all the way up to the top, where most of the gears and pulleys and things seem to be. It is very quiet in here. None of the gears and pulleys move. It seems that everything is completely inert.
Does Stone notice any iconography of any of the Aoka on any of this stuff?
There is iconography. Like I said, it's there's a lot of carvings and things here, but most of it has been defaced. Okay. You'll need to do a pretty thorough investigation to try and figure out what this had depicted, through all of the the chipping and the wearing down from the elements.
Is it feeling to him that this building is the shrine, or is there like a specific, like, does he feel it is here? Does he feel it is up?
The sensation isn't specific enough to be able to feel that. You do have a map, however, if you wanted to check. That might.
That's true.
You said that there was different carvings and etchings around here.
Mm-hmm.
Could Dorian perhaps take a piece of parchment and can and crayon and make a rubbing of this to try and get a better
as you're
picture
doing
of where
that, Stone puts a hand out, like as you're starting to get your stuff out, and says, "I'd like to remind you there is a Tenari assassin about." Perhaps
right, of course.
You hear
yes.
a clunk
Priorities
from above you, several stories up.
I will go first. Follow behind. Alexander, make sure no one approaches us from behind, please.
Alexander is already in the shadows.
And Stone will start walking up.
As you approach the ramp, you notice that there is a large lever. Like the lever is even sort of the wrong word. It's more like a yoke that sticks out from the wall. And it seems to be inset into a track that follows the ramp all the way up to the top of the clock tower. Right now, it is at the very end of that track at the bottom. Stepping around it, how do you want to proceed? So Stone is going first. Are you moving quietly? Are we announcing our presence, calling out at all?
Stone is not calling out. Did we? I can't remember from the description of the last session. Did the Tenari perceive us, or do we have any sense of whether or not it knew that we were there, or was it focused
unclear?
Okay, Stone is not going to hide. But neither is he going to call out. He's just going to continue walking up with the understanding that a Korovid Hadra is different than a Nujit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dorian follows along, just admiring all of the architecture and engravings, and just definitely distracted, but knowing he's got to help his friends here, he's following along.
Yeah, we'll be back for that lever for sure.
You so you make your way slowly all the way up to the top. You hear very little. Since that clunk that you heard earlier, there has been no sound. At the end of the ramp, you come to a staircase that leads sort of up and around, and you are not sure where. It is dimly lit up there. You can see the flickering of a small candle. And you all can place yourselves into this scene. Actually, I can get rid of the lighting. Token vision is not required here.
I'm still loading. Oh, here we go. It's a little bit frightening that the map is called Miroslav Tower Combat.
Disregard.
Couldn't mean anything.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I think it's fine.
How do I ping again? Does anyone recall?
Oh, there's a tool.
There we
for
go.
it.
If you hold
You
long
can-
press.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are coming up on this staircase over
Oh,
here.
yeah. Okay, this staircase, cool.
He's good, too. We can't, too.
Oh, this one up here.
Yes.
Okay.
God damn it. Movement collided with at least one wall.
Yeah, based on
They
the
changed the marker crosshairs. It looks like. Or no, I'm assuming.
So we came up from that staircase.
I'm still colliding with like everything.
Are all of these candles
There
lit?
All
Or
of
is
those
that
candles are lit. They seem to be like hooded in a way, so that they are providing just enough light to see by, but not lighting up this whole area. One thing that I don't have on here, and I apologize, I should have thought of this ahead of time. There is we're just gonna draw. Oh, that's terrible. Can I make this a different color somehow?
That's terrible.
This is completely not helpful.
I mean, I can see it.
Yeah, it's not great, but I can see it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Aha.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. So that right there is a statue. When you come up the stairs, the statue is of a huge creature, almost like a winged leopard, with like 4 wings and 6 arms, and it is holding on to a large crystalline globe that is like a dull, like a pale color, and the expression on this thing's face is like pained and agonized, and you can see on the statue the claws with which it is gripping the this orb are all burned and scarred, marred with black, as is much of its face and its underbelly.
Does that make any sense at all to Stone?
Stone recognizes this as Tanakron.
That is Tanakron.
That is
Okay.
Tanakron. Can you give me a cunning check?
I can. It won't be good, but I can
Okay.
give you one.
That's fine. We're
My
just going
cunning
to try
is
and get a
my-
sense of what
Tis
Stone
my
knows
lowest-
here.
Tis my lowest attribute.
Yeah, okay.
Not a lot.
What you know of Tanakron is the bare bones. It's not been a god that you have studied or learned the songs of. But Tanakron is tasked, with carrying the sun across the sky, which is a painful and laborious effort. But Tanakron
Iconography
does
makes
it
sense.
nonetheless. As you are looking at this grand statue, you hear another clunk from above, and dropping down from the ceiling right there is the creature you saw. It is cloaked. It has chitinous appendages that come off of it. It is wearing a mask of bone under a cloak, and it drops down to the ceiling. It is holding a rapier and a short sword, and it lands almost completely silently.
But it lands in our sight line, though.
It lands in your sight line, and it does a like dueling posture, and then remains completely motionless.
Stone is very slowly going to raise all 4 arms.
Is there any signs of like fresh blood on the blades?
You do not see immediate signs of fresh blood on the blade.
Good sign.
Stone in let's see. Well, Stone only really speaks like human common. So Stone is just gonna say in like common, or I suppose like he could try Kurobin, but anyway, he's just gonna say hello.
The creature chitters and chirps from behind the mask.
Unfortunately, I do not speak your tongue, Tanari brethren.
Dorian, do you speak the Tanari tongue?
I believe that's actually up to you, DM, with how Lore Master works.
Do you have the one that says that you can speak like troll and elf?
I have adept in elvish or troll tongues.
And what does master give you?
It does not mention languages under master.
Okay, then we are going to say that you do know a little bit of the Tanari tongue, although because of the way that it is produced, it is impossible for you to speak it.
It says to say simple phrases, it requires no test, but to initiate a conversation requires successful roll against cunning.
This is a complicated enough sentence that you would need to make a cunning test.
Okay. We mean you no harm.
So he already said something. So this is you translating.
This is me okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize.
No worries.
Any modifier?
No.
Okay. That's a pass.
By 1.
This is a pretty complicated sentence, but and you're doing so quickly because you're pretty sure that he said something about a duel or a fight, and that it seems to you like this guy's going to attack you.
Wait, easy. We mean you no harm. I try to respond.
You hear a clicking, chattering,
which
translates to mean it does not matter. Everyone roll initiative.
Oh. Well,
fair enough.
It does not matter because he means you harm. They mean you harm.
Well, they're very literal-minded.
In that time, was I able to, since I was trying to be discreet, was I able to...
Yeah, please make a hide check. Or, discreet check.
Okay. Just straight roll?
Yep.
Straight roll.
Well, wait a second. What's my... My vigilant is 10, so yes, it's exactly a straight roll.
Hell yeah. Then there it is. And my goal was to kind of be circling the outside. I don't know how far I would have gotten before the fight started, though.
You can be up to here. And remember this yellow circle, this is like a... So, okay, these are holes in the floor, these squares. There are maybe like 5-foot, 4-foot tall gates around them, but that just leads down into the like gears and pulleys and stuff of the clock tower below you. And in the center is this statue that's rising like in the very center. So you can't really be on those spaces unless you want to climb up onto it for some reason.
That is fine.
And I am the Tenari announced himself. Yeah, Dorian, and you also you can hear what it is saying. So Dorian, absolutely go first. I was going to give it a surprise round, but I don't think that's appropriate.
Stammering for a second, Dorian mutters under his breath, "Why does everything always want to kill us here?" And then pull out his gun and take a shot.
Okay. So that's at -4.
Bang.
Dorian casts gun. Prepare to meet God. Okay.
Blam, bitch.
All right. So you do hit the Tenari. It like takes a shot. You can see like the chitin like busts up a little bit. But it moves. It is moving forward with lightning speed. You are not sure that it is going to matter. Okay. So hang on. Give me a second. Okay. And next we have Alexander.
Okay, it's just kind of chilling there. I would like to get, I guess, to the corner of the statue. I can move myself, right? Yeah. Colliding.
Bring yourself
What
down.
are you
and
guys
then-
colliding with is my
I
question.
don't know, because that shouldn't be a area that is hitting.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the wall. So this right
Oh,
here
is that okay.
is the gate, and actually, so there are gates around the outside, but not in the middle. So the you're on a walkway right now. You could just fall off the edge.
As in, like
As in, there's nothing. If something pushes you right now,
I
there's
see,
nothing to
okay.
stop you from falling.
As in,
Oh.
there's like a railing here, but there's not a railing here.
OSHA
correct.
would be very
Yeah,
upset.
you can see those like little squares. Those squares are the railing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that must be what I was colliding with or something.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, can I get right up behind him with my movement? Is that a possibility? Like
Yeah,
right up
you can.
here?
Yeah, because you moved around on the turn before. That would be fine.
Hell yeah, then
Hell yeah.
let's start stabbing.
Okay.
Regular straight roll besides my advantage and backstab on the first.
So it's -4.
-4. Okay. -4. Normal, advantage, backstab.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling 1. Then this one is just advantage. -4 though, of course. Rolling again. And let's make it a triple, baby. Jesus. When I hit mastery, it's gonna be
This is insane.
Okay. Yes, you unleash a flurry of blows on him, although as you are doing so, he turns around and like he's not looking at you. He's parrying and like dodging and like going after your blades without looking in your direction. He's still staring straight at Stone. And you do hit 3 times, but like with the deftness that he's moving, it's for minimal damage.
Oh.
Same as the first shot. Like it does hit, but he's not perturbed by it. Okay, so then who goes? Then it is him. Okay. So Alexander, he is going to attack twice against you. So you're going to make 2 defense tests. This is at -5.
5. And then normal otherwise, right?
Yep.
Okay. First one. Whew! Alright.
Okay.
Critical!
Is criticaling my success help here?
I don't
Only for attacks, baby.
And that one hit.
that sounds right. Okay, so that one hits. That is the offhand attack, so it's not that much. You only take 5 damage after your protection. So
ouch.
he is like they are making quick thrusts. The movements are efficient. They are not flashy. They are just the easiest way to get to you as quickly as possible and with lightning speed. You manage to knock aside the larger sword, but their smaller sword comes in under your defenses, hitting you in the side. It then leaps over to Stone in an instant, faster than you can possibly react, and now Stone takes an attack.
Okay. He definitely
again -5.
Definitely gonna hit Stone. Stone's slow boy. And I'm also still not wearing any armor. Yeah, no.
Stone takes 8 damage from the main sword as he stabs like quickly into you, and immediately after the hit, jumps backwards and with incredible speed rushes over to here on the other side of this this hole in the floor.
Oh, and I get prot 2 because of my robust, so I take 6.
No, that was including the prot 2.
That was including the prot?
That was including the prot, yeah.
Well, I mean, he definitely knocks me down, or whatever.
You're at
my
0?
My threshold is 7.
Oh, your threshold is 7? Okay.
My threshold is 7.
Then, it is going to take another attack against you before it moves.
This is probably going to kill me, y'all. Just so you know.
It's his offhand.
I have 5 HP. And it's -5?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, no. Prot 1.
Yep, you take 6 damage, and he then, as you fall to the ground, jumps back to here.
So I'm at -1, and I am dead.
You get to make lots of death saves in this game, though.
Okay.
Well, I sure had fun with this combat. Y'all enjoy yourselves.
All right, next it is Stone's turn. Stone, you are going to make a death save.
Arky barky. How do I do that again?
D20.
D20?
Just a D20?
Don't,
all right.
Don't roll
don't
20.
be bad.
I rolled
Good.
an 8.
Okay, you are still alive for now.
Yay.
And we are back to the top of the turn. Dorian, it's your turn.
Fuck. Dorian is gonna move and take a shot. God damn.
Wait, how do I?
Because you are going to be shooting through the grate right now, and Alexander's in the way, you are going to have disfavor.
Don't shoot me.
It'd be kind of funny if you shot him. Just saying.
No, it wouldn't.
What would
Just
be a
shoot.
good one? You'll be fine. There we go.
Just for clarity, right now I'm thinking of this as like 5 zones, really. The center zone, and then each of the corners is its own zone.
Hey, you didn't shoot me.
You fire through, but it hits one of the like iron, the wrought iron gates, and like pings off to the side. Is a grazing shot, and does not pierce the creature's armor.
Fuck, man.
Okay, but from here you can see that it is pretty wounded. That it was shrugging off the attacks. but that does not mean that damage is not going through. And that already, even before you got here, it seemed in pretty bad shape. Its movements, though fast, are like still a little off. It is not as smooth or as graceful as it probably should be. Okay, Alexander, it's your turn.
That's all I got.
He said he was feeling a little or seeming a little rough, though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fuck. Is there any way I can get to him from there? Or would I have to
you can get over there
and still
certainly.
attack or no?
Yep, you could get over there and still attack. It's just one movement. Yep.
Let's do it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Backflip over the fucking.
All right, -4 to attack then.
Correct.
That would be rad.
Okay, so let's go. No. But I still keep it,
okay, so because you made it made a successful defense test, it gets a free attack against you. So you're gonna make a defense test right now.
Oh, this will be bad. -5, correct?
-5.
Okay. Oh no.
Okay, you take 6 damage.
This thing's gonna wreck us.
So it
This
knocks
thing
aside
got
your
us.
attack very quickly, and then stabs you. You didn't even know that it was possible to take.
Is such a thing even possible? Where can I learn such power? Do I still finish my attack, or is that it?
You can still finish your attack.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Not great still, but we're gonna keep rolling. Okay, we're gonna do some real time here.
Okay, you take another attack.
Oh boy, this guy's a little mean. Hey guys, I don't think this is going well. But I succeed this one.
You're talking to the guy who got killed in 2 hits.
So I'm gonna do my other one.
One last attack. Come on.
All right, that's fine. It's fine. We got this. Not a problem.
The Tanari and Alexander are locked in vicious combat. There are parries and counterattacks, ripostes, a flurry of blades like you have not seen. They go back and forth across this. They end up out here like on the edges of things. Alexander gets like pushed to the edge, like almost going to fall off, but then like slides underneath. And it is a dazzling display when suddenly the Tanari sheathes both of its swords and puts up one hand.
Is this after I've hit it, or?
This is after you've hit it, yes. And it bows to you. It chitters in its language. And Dorian, you recognize the word friends and upstairs.
Well, why the bloody hell did you have to do that in the first place? You may have killed our friend!
Stone gurgles.
Alexander immediately just turns and starts running.
Running where?
Upstairs. Away!
Thanks.
Fucking, I'm out. No, going upstairs.
Dorian runs to Stone.
Jackass.
So upstairs, the Tanari
Following.
quietly walks over to Stone and like watches as Dorian rushes over to him. Meanwhile, Alexander runs up the staircase into a smaller room upstairs, which seems to be like a storage room of some sort. There is like a trap door to get up into it, and when you open inside, it's filled with dust. There's only a little bit of moonlight coming in, but all of your companions are huddled up there with whatever they could manage to grab from their previous camp, sticking close to one another, fear in their eyes. Lyra, you do not see, but a dagger suddenly ends up at your throat. and she says, "It's a good thing for you that I am in a good mood today."
I take it you're feeling well.
I've been better.
So have I.
Dorian, what are you doing to Stone? Stealing everything off of
Root
his
body.
corpse.
Stealing his rags and his
I'm-
giant tree club, the only worldly possessions he has.
Pocketing his loincloth.
Yep. Stone's
Dorian
going
looks over his wounds.
full commando.
And just is pressing a hand down against wherever he stabbed, and just keeps spitting curses at the Tenari in every language he knows, trying to put pressure on this wound and do anything to stem the bleeding.
The Tenari pushes Dorian aside and pulls out a like a flask of some sort of skin and pours a little bit of a like golden like, oh gosh, like a mucusy type of substance. Yeah, like a honey over the wounds. Stone, you heal 2 HP.
Great.
Hell
I'm
yeah,
at-
baby.
1.
No, you can't be below 0. So
Okay,
you're at 2.
I'm at 2.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Never better.
I did
Never
several
even once
episodes
better.
like that. You got this.
The Tenari stands and
I don't have any armor talent.
chitters. He will live. And then he walks back over to the shrine
What is that?
and then looks out through the window.
What was that substance?
The Tenari says, "It is not for you."
Well, I suppose I should know better than to expect anyone to respect no weapons in hand as a sign of good faith.
You will
Dorian will
live.
translate.
It seems to understand you.
Oh,
So it can understand us, it just can't speak our language, sort of similar to how we can't speak his language.
It's a Chewbacca situation.
This makes sense to me, yes.
why did you try to kill us?
It was a test.
A test for what?
You have passed.
A test for what?
You have passed the test.
Dorian,
I grumble, help Stone up to his feet the best that I can. The cripple
Stone
leaning with
puts
all
an
of his
arm on
weight.
you, like, because he knows that you're trying to help, and then just pushes himself up with his other 2 arms. Thank you, Dorian. And thank you for attempting to aid me. It seems today can and has gotten worse.
I would very much like to know what that substance was, or how it's made to help assist you in the future. Like,
Stone
that-
is already not listening to you and is walking towards the statue.
The Tenari says something nearly incomprehensible.
nearly.
Addressing,
Nearly.
like,
You're going to have to make a cunning check.
Okay. Any modifier?
Nope.
oh,
Got it.
Now, you're not sure about this. You've been wrong before. But you think that the Tenari may have said that the substance came from some body part. It's unclear.
That's
Cloacal discharge.
oh, that's disgusting.
Tasty.
Dorian will join Stone at the statue, I suppose.
Okay. Alexander, what are you doing?
I suppose it determines, or it depends on what Lyra's doing.
Lyra removes the dagger from your throat.
Excellent. Alexander is kind of looking over the group and looks over to Lyra and is going to assess any wounds.
They seem relatively unharmed, although scared. Well, we've had quite the eventful day. How have you been? Get your errands run?
Yes, of course. Picked up all the groceries I needed, but I'm most curious how you ended up in here and not stabbed up about 400 times.
Well, no thanks to you. We were attacked thanks to your friend, who I hear is downstairs.
Yes. Injured.
She looks at you with just frustration and rage in her eyes and says, she mutters to herself, I told you that we could not trust them.
He's the reason you're alive, I would wager.
Onse is the reason that we are alive right now, thank you.
He raises an eyebrow. Onse?
That's as best I can understand its name.
The fellow who just put a couple holes in me, I take it?
Yes, he's quite efficient. Does good work.
Rightly so.
Really? My question is, how? Well, I have many questions, but how did you befriend this Onse? And because we saw, well, you were leaving a shadow in the tower, both of you. Wasn't hard to trace you back here.
Your friend caused quite a commotion in the graveyard. And after attracting the attention of all of the Najit in the city, I think, and killing perhaps half of them, we were left with a graveyard filled with Najit who were either damaged or wounded in some way, several of which who were still looking for us, and Onse came and saved the day, as it were. Brought us here, and so far, we have been safe. Can't get a whole lot out of him, but he doesn't seem to trust the Najit either. Without a better option, I chose this one, and I am not happy about it.
I'm glad to see that you are all unharmed.
She speaks more quietly now. Alexander, we need to find the tomb now while we still can. No more side tracks, no more dilly-dallying. Every minute we waste in this city, we take the chance that we do not make it out.
I do agree. We've been dealing with the shrines as we've gone to, and well, we know that there would be plenty around the tomb. It does make sense that we need to
Fuck the
expedite
shrines.
that.
Let's take our gold and go. We know where the tomb is. We have the key to get in. It's time to go.
I am with you all the way.
Are you?
It becomes complicated once we get to the tomb.
Does
And
it?
it's hard to for me, it does. For me,
Why?
believe it or not, I have a soul. I know that's hard to believe.
What? I'm not in love with you, Alexander.
No. What? You're not? But second of all, but second,
What are you talking about right now?
not that kind of soul. I won't. I'll, we can go to the temple. We can go to the tomb. And you can take the crown.
I'm leaving tonight. You can join me if you wish. If you don't, best of luck. But I'm not waiting around here any longer.
We will be there. I promise you that.
Okay. All right, Stone and Dorian, you are inspecting the shrine?
Yeah.
Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, it's sort of this like weird leonine creature with wings in agony carrying an orb.
Does the orb? So it's made of like some like a stone or something like that. I'm assuming,
It's
but
sort
like
of
is
crystal. It's sort
it
of
crystal?
translucent.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it is translucent. Okay,
Mhm.
and I couldn't remember if you had mentioned that. Is it connected to any kind of mechanism, or is it's just set on the floor just like a normal statue?
Yeah, it's set on the floor. Underneath it, it seems like it may be connected to the mechanisms below. It's unclear.
Okay. That's what I was looking for. Well, Dorian, I don't suppose you know anything about clocks.
Coming from Arcadia, I'd imagine Dorian probably knows a thing or two about clocks.
I would imagine so.
He
Everybody in
starts
Arcadia
spewing off
knows where
about
clock
like random
guy is.
information.
Like the
The-
history of timekeeping.
Yeah.
Horology, thank you very
Horology.
much.
I feel as though we need to ignite this crystal somehow. I do not know how that would need to happen, but it would be in keeping with the iconography of Tenakron. I will go below and investigate the mechanisms there. You could join me or see what other things you can glean here. Either way.
I turn towards the Tenari. Do you know anything about how this functions?
Yes.
Would you be willing to help us?
Yes.
Could you lead the way to step 1?
Yes.
Please do.
It turns and walks down the staircase.
Stone will follow.
I follow as well.
And as it walks, you can see that it is moving in stuttered, uncertain steps, willing itself forward, but as if not all of its body parts are working together in the way that they should be.
Dorian, ask our friend why it did not use some of its healing material on itself.
Ask that.
You don't need to. It understands stone.
Right.
And
Oh, right, it's like
Yep,
Chewbacca.
understand. Okay, yep. Why have you not healed yourself?
I am dying.
He says that he's dying. Or they say that they're dying.
Yeah, I suppose it says we are dying.
That would be the
We
proper.
are dying.
Yeah. They are dying.
Why?
I am not. We are not meant to hold this form.
I see.
Why do you remain in it?
We must.
For some purpose. What is that purpose?
We have one purpose. Revenge.
Against whom?
The Najit, I'd wager.
Endaranex has died. Our leader died. We seek revenge.
How old does this Tanari look?
How much do you know about Tanari?
How old are you?
Our memory extends to the beginning.
It's a
form,
collective conscience across your entire species, or
this
just this form?
for 1 year. Too long. We must finish. We must accomplish our purpose. We must.
Who is your primary target for this vengeance?
Najit. Leader.
The Emperor.
The Pontiff.
The Pontiff, excuse me.
Yes. Yes, Najit. Leader.
Interesting.
Kind of leaning towards Stone and saying quietly, hopefully so that this Tanari doesn't hear. His methods may actually... his goals may actually line up with ours, with what Anastas was saying before.
Yes. Perhaps.
It could be an enemy of my enemy situation.
You are worthy allies. You will assist.
Very well.
Yes, yes, you will assist. Here. And he points to that large yoke that I mentioned earlier.
So does it look like the sort of thing that a Kurovid might be able to, say, lift into another position?
You can attempt it.
I mean, does it look like it's meant to be held, or like... You said it was sort of like a yoke, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a sense of, like, what that means. Because, like, when I think of yoke, I think of, like, putting it on your shoulders or something.
You look like you could...
it
looks like you could get under it.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe that's what Stone will do. So Stone will crouch, kind of slot himself into it, and then try to stand up.
Okay. So you can't stand up per se. But what it does do as you try and push it, it starts heading up the track. Although it is phenomenally heavy.
Sure.
You are barely able to move it an inch without extended effort.
Sure. Makes sense.
Are there any kind of... I know you had mentioned, like, large bones and stuff earlier.
Yeah.
Is there a way that we could use that as some sort of, like, lever or fulcrum to help move this along its path? Its trail that you mentioned?
Not really. Like this, it's like, think like a Zelda puzzle. This, like, thing just needs to get pushed up all the way to the top. So there's not going to be, like, a way that you can, like, lever it up.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is it constantly trying to roll back as it's moved up?
Yes.
Or does it... Okay. So it's a continuous thing.
We could perhaps at least use them for, like, break points.
Well, hold on. We have a source of information here, right? What are we meant to do here?
The Tanari points up.
We need to move this up.
Like Tanakron.
like Tanakron. It's
We need to carry the sun across the sky.
quite literally a Sisyphean. Is that how it's
Sisyphean task, yes.
Sisyphean task?
You gotta roll the boulder back up the hill.
Interesting. Trying to think if there's a way that we might make this easier, like in terms of a mechanism, because there's all that shit downstairs, right?
Yeah, that's what I was
That's now
trying
above
to.
you. That's now all above you.
All the
Are
stuff
there
that we saw at
any?
ground level?
Yeah, that was all suspended in the air above you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I misunderstood.
And then you sort of like
Okay.
walk past it as you go up to the top.
I misunderstood. Okay.
Are there any engravings or something left over?
Yeah, the engravings, as I said earlier, mostly have been marred and defaced. So it's difficult to make anything out from them.
Would making an etching actually help, or would that be a waste of time?
Making an etching would be a part of the process of trying to decipher these, but it's going to take time and a check.
Okay. Well, I'll let Chitinous, Chewy, and Stone try and work out how to move that while I try and work out the depictions.
All right, and you set to work.
Yoke.
Anastas, you head into Archdiocese Might, into the Basilica of the Conqueror. Let's get back to this. The Basilica of the Conqueror is a red iron fortress, imposing and dark in comparison to the other basilicae around you. These halls are familiar to you. You are allowed in as a member of Diocese Might. You are allowed in without question, and given free reign to roam wherever you wish to. What would you like to do?
Taking a moment to skip the nostalgia, Anastas will begin heading to what I imagine would be maybe the center of the basilica. Maybe perhaps if there's like a war room or something that
Sure.
Nekitus would be found.
You find Nekitus, so you pass like a center like yard that the basilica surrounds, and in that yard it is a training area filled with sand, and where both where Nekitus trains and also soldiers of might can test themselves against Nekitus, who is the greatest of the Najid warriors, rumored, purportedly. Nekitus, as I mentioned before, is two brothers that have been put together. A huge, imposing, nearly as tall as Anastas. But how Nekitus differs is that Nekitus is built like a Karovid Hadra, and he fights as one too. He has trained in the Karovid Hadran arts and fights with a two-handed hammer and a two-handed axe. Right now, he is doing drills. There are like 8 Najit around him, normal Najit fighters with spears. They're trying to get in, and none of them is able to get anywhere close to Nekitus, who is swinging and bashing them with abandon, breaking apart these soldiers so that they have to like reconstitute themselves and crawl their way out of the arena. Huge, powerful swings impact the earth. Sand and dust goes flying as Nekitus roars in anger and power with each swing. And in a few moments, all 8 combatants in the arena, other than Nekitus, have been dashed to bits and are crawling their way out of the arena, where some other acolytes come to help them constitute themselves back together. There is a thin layer of black sap incense all around, which is allowing them to reconstitute themselves more easily. Nekitus is facing away from you right now and sort of like readjusts its bones as it looks away, and it says in a gruff voice, and so here is Anastas. Pravoslav. What can I do for you?
So here I am. Perhaps it would be good for you to face one that was not so easily dismantled.
Nekitus chuckles a bit and says, I would enjoy that. Perhaps just a round or two.
It has been some time since we sparred, old mentor.
Okay, do you want to pull yourself out onto the thing here just so we can... Well,
yeah.
I guess it doesn't super matter. Let me find him.
Oh.
I made 2 of me.
Be gone.
Getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
Okay, hang
I
on.
mean, it's another Najit from Might.
That's true. That is true. Hang on, I was not entirely prepared for this, so 2 minutes. Okay. Not Nekitus. Jeez, okay. All right. And you can activate yourself. Okay. And whomst among us goes first? Wow, okay, you absolutely go first.
Anastas's max splits open. I am rage, and I rush in as Diocese Might would with a large swing.
Yeah, okay, so, you make your attack at +5. We gotta get...
Just completely kill him in one hit, and that's the end of the meeting.
Well,
Boom. Anastas kind of takes a low prowl, enraged, rushes in, aims high, but then sweeps low and nails him in the thigh.
Okay, give me 2 seconds, I just gotta check here.
Like a Vader Obi-Wan meeting.
So you swing into him, hitting with all of your might. His bones rattle only a little, absorbing 10 of that 11 damage.
All right.
And
Then
with
boss
that,
music kicks in.
Nikitas chuckles again and then swings. Okay, you are taking 2 attacks. This is at -5. Ooh,
Critical
okay.
success.
Critical success.
What about the second one? Oh. But a lot of protection.
Yes.
All
Okay.
protection.
He hits you with a huge hammer attack to the side. It knocks you, dealing 12 damage. So it is just enough to get through your protection, but only by 1.
I thought
knocks Anastas to the side, turn around, you're like locked in combat. You separate, and Nekitus laughs again. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Shake my thigh off. I kind of dip low and then come with a big overhand strike.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And +5.
Yep.
Certainly gonna hit.
Boom!
Ooh, okay. Big damage. So you bust through Nekitus's defenses, and you hear a crack as he's like pushed backwards, and he chuckles again and then swings twice. -5.
Yep.
The critical successes. Okay, and you again take 1 damage, this time from a sweeping axe attack, and you almost catch it with the wheel, but you're not quite able to, and you deal a little bit of damage. Good. Okay, so this goes on for some time as you're swinging back
Trading
and forth.
1 point. Trading
Yep.
1 point.
After a moment, let's just do a So, how do I want to do this? Okay, let's do a strong versus strong check. So you make a strong check, -5.
No, you got me.
So okay, so after several rounds of combat, at one point you swing the wheel, and Nekitus with his 2 extra arms grabs it, and then has like the axe with like he's dropped the hammer, has the axe at Anastas's like right where his sensor is in the center of the chest. And Nekitus chuckles and says, "You gave me a run for my money, but there's only one master of diocese or might."
And it seems you have not grown dull over the years, Nekitus.
And Nekitus drops his drops the axe and then turns to pick up the hammer and then stows them on his back. Now, Anastas, what did you come here for?
I came here to discuss some matters quite grave. Perhaps it'd be best should we not trouble your men over this. Rumors already grow throughout Diocese Might. I wish not to proliferate them.
Nekitus grumbles, politics, and he waves a hand, and the rest of the soldiers that are sort of in the square and the surrounding rooms depart, leaving you alone.
I know you are not wont for this type of talk, Old Mentor, but I felt it was only right that I come to you plainly. I wish to unseat our pontiff. And I know that may mean meeting you on a battlefield much less forgiving than the training grounds.
Nekitus shifts himself and sits down like cross-legged in the center of the arena and bids that you sit as well.
I will sit.
I did not know that we were going to be speaking of treason today.
Treason or A restoration of honor to our orthodoxy.
Is it a restoration of honor if we forsake our oaths in its pursuit?
Thus is the reason I wish to make war on the pontiff.
You feel
feel
to
he's-
uphold your oath, you must make war with that to which you swore that oath.
I made an oath and a plea before the triumvirate. I have been made privy to the debauched nature of our pontiff's soul and those who have become sycophantic to his cause. I fear I can uphold my oath to him no longer. And as is our way, that means by the sword. I have
It
not
is
come
not
here.
your place to make that determination.
It was not my place, as I was your ward. However, as Provoslov and devotee of the pilgrim, I cannot follow the pontiff's orders to dispatch her. And thus, I have come to you not to make peace or ask that you stay your blade, just that I may make my intentions plain. I did not wish you as an enemy, and I will not see you as one as we make war against each other, but there's a time where a devoted to the pilgrim must choose the man or the light. And I feel I have made my choice.
Anastas, you came to me from the Black House. And at that time, I wondered what ill would be wrought of it. And for many years you have proved me wrong. But there is still the purity of black in you. Don't think that it ever went away.
Perhaps that is why I have decided to make pure our house once more.
The Indara are out there yet. They wait for their opportunity to strike, as all good and patient warriors do. Venisi is among the most cunning I have fought, perhaps the most cunning. If you do this, she will take the opportunity. You know that, do you not?
That I do. And it is a wise warrior that makes an enemy come to them. I feel they are coming, ready, prepared, regardless of who holds the throne. But I no longer trust our pontiff and that cretin they've put in charge of purity to hold our defenses. I do trust you, and I know by the Hall of the Conqueror, Karstop will stand. But I don't just believe, I know that it must be without our pontiff. We must restore the pilgrim's place in our faith. We must restore the might of Karstop as it withers under his Stolt's hand.
You can see Nekitus is like shaking in the Najit way of expressing emotions. He is enraged. And through the clattering of his bones, you can hear that he is only barely able to contain his anger. Anastas, I cannot let you do this, for it is against the oaths that I have sworn. I will not see this city fall in a desperate attempt to change the order of things for political reasons. There are greater dangers out there.
That is why I do this, Old Mentor. I wish not power, I wish not to take the throne myself.
And yet you will take the throne. Others have said the same.
And you are one to listen to the rumors and chattering of the skulls of these halls.
You have been gone a long time, Anastas. And out of respect for the people that you once were, I'm going to let you walk out of here. But if I see you again, our blades will cross.
I expected nothing less, Nekitus. And you will see. When truth prevails, we will take the fight to Venisi. And the enemies of our kind will fall.
I pray for all our sakes that you are right. Now go. I have much to think on, and I wish not to look upon you again.
So it shall be. Walk with grace, Nekitus.
And you. He says this last, grinding his teeth together.
And I take my leave.
Okay.
Could have gotten worse.
Anastas, Talon, does Anastas know where the rest of the party is right now?
I did know that they were going to the clock tower.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. Meanwhile, Dorian, Alexander... Well, okay, Alexander, what are you up to?
I think by this point he's probably rejoined with the rest. You know.
Okay. So right now you are all downstairs, like, making etchings, like, trying to decipher this problem, like... describe to me how you're trying to figure this out. So I know Dorian is doing etchings and is trying to decipher the walls. What are the rest of you trying to do?
You mentioned. Well, I guess I can.
I mean, Stone
I
is
believe...
just kind of musing on the nature of the god of the Aoka, and trying to discern if there is anything to be derived from what he knows about the god to help solve this problem.
Going through the stories of Tanakron again in your mind, they sometimes call Tanakron the tortured god, or the god in agony. That Tanakron has a duty, and Tanakron fulfills that duty, even though it is awful and brings him great pain each and every day. The worship of Tanakron is about understanding responsibility. And it is about taking it upon yourself to do what is best for the greater good. It does not surprise you that that to earn his blessing, one must complete an arduous task. Alexander, what are you doing?
I probably figure he's helping Dorian
Okay.
with the etchings and stuff
Sure.
at this point.
Dorian, I'm going to need a cunning check, and this is going to be at -4.
Does he get advantage because I'm helping him?
How are you with ancient Indaran script, taking etchings, the stories of the Aoka and the Hadra, and or deciphering really bad language that's been worn off?
Alexander, if you were to just take this crayon right here and press it against the paper, with your such deft hands, it would give me more time to go over this. If you could just like that. Your nimble fingers are perfect for this.
Very good with crayons. I hope you know this.
Dorian, you have to go back and readjust Alexander's hands 3 separate times to the point that you think it might have just been faster to do it on your own. Make your cunning check. You do not get advantage.
I could have done that.
I tried, man. Nope.
Damn. You failed by the amount
okay,
you got.
You spend 15 minutes very carefully getting the paper down, doing the etching, pulling it back. You pull out your you've got a dictionary. You're flipping through, you're double checking words. After a moment, you stand up. This is completely illegible, completely worthless. There is no information to be gleaned here. Almost everything has been worn off or marred, sanded away, deliberately destroyed by the Najit, and your heart weeps at the loss of knowledge and information just in pursuit of religious zealotry.
Dorian weeps. It's not just his heart. He starts crying.
And I with
he
him.
hates this place. He hates it so much.
Stone, while he's musing, is going to go check out the bones, by the way.
So the bones are scattered in Dara, Karovid, Yora. Amongst them are old scraps of cloth, moth-ridden and faded. Onse comes over and just says, "Our brothers."
Yes. Our brothers. So they're scattered right now?
No, they've been all gathered together in a pile.
Oh, they have been gathered together.
Yes.
Okay.
And put off to the side, very deliberately, and you can see through the dust in the on the floor that this was very recent that they were all gathered up together.
Stone is going to look at him and say, "Do you know the Song of Mourning?"
The Tanari shakes its head no.
Well, in that case, I shall teach it to you now. And he'll start to sing. Obviously, doesn't know the magical version of it, but he'll sing a traditional song of Hadron Mourning.
Interesting. Okay, so and you know the Ernan the Mornings song.
I do not know Ernan.
You don't know it, but you have recited it. You don't you know the song, but you don't know it to the extent of
I don't
from it.
Yeah, right. I don't know how to sing it to evoke magic.
Yes. So your master was a Tanari. Tanari do not have the ability to create musical sounds with their voice. And so your master played an elaborate harp, which it could use, it could pluck and evoke the resonant sounds. What this Tanari does is something you have not heard in a long time, but it creates a low resonant drone that goes along with your song as if it was like a bagpipe, and fills is able to match the pitch sufficiently to create a very interesting song, take on the Song of Morning, which you have never heard before, and few have ever heard in the history of this world.
That was cool.
Stone looks at the Tanari and says, I thought you said you did not know the song.
And the Tanari says nothing and then turns away. What would you guys like to do next? At this point, Anastas comes in through the door.
Anastas comes through the door.
Yes.
The strange dealings again, I suppose.
Stone very quickly steps in front of Anastas and puts all four arms out and looks at the Tanari.
The Tanari, though you did not hear it, already has blades drawn and is pointed at you.
Yep.
This
one is different. He is our friend.
It buzzes discontentedly.
These creatures
They
do not
seek to
quite-
change this place as much as you do.
These creatures are not ones I've known to make friends, though. It seems not too kind on me.
The Tanari lowers its blades.
That is because it hates you more than it knows how to hate anything else, Anastas.
I'm feeling I can empathize. Well, the creature aside, what are these happenings? Have you found Lyra? Have you found Constantine?
Yes, they are safe and upstairs.
Quick question. Did we find Constantine? Was he with them too?
Constantine,
Because
That's
you didn't
actually
mention
a really
him.
good question.
I did not mention Constantine.
And how would Onse feel about him?
Constantine is not here.
That is a good question.
Oh.
The others are safe, but Constantine, he was not with them. I could go ask Lyra. She didn't mention what happened to him, actually.
I'll put my
Hopefully,
faith in my ward for the time being.
is there any chance he may have sought refuge with the Najit? I am taken to understand I was rather violent towards your kind while I was possessed.
If you have brought harm upon Constantine, friend Stone, penance will need to be paid. However,
Penance means nothing to me, Bonekin, but I will pay whatever price you ask.
I can go ask Lyra what happened to him.
please do.
I'll do that.
Dorian, make sense of this for me, please.
Of what in particular? That Dorian is like picking up his etchings and shuffling them back into his, trying to neatly put his crayons back. He's been a bit distracted with You see this mechanism here. We need to somehow get it up to the top of the watchtower in order to activate this next shrine.
Alexander.
Can Anastas try to grab it and push it?
Yes, so Dorian is like explaining what has happened to you and like this whole situation and going through it, and we're gonna do Alexander first.
Yeah,
Alexander, you arrive back upstairs. Lyra is completely gone.
Oh. Well, are the others still there?
Now, listen here. We got some stuff to talk about, regarding me and my group and us getting out of here as quickly as possible. And I think that we have been neglected a little bit. I'm just saying, on the part of me and Isabel and Hod over there, I want to get out of this hellhole.
Of course, very understandable. Trust me, I empathize with you, and I am with you on that as well.
Well, have you found a way for us to get out of here? Because it seems like every time that we come up with a plan, the plan is that we sit here and y'all go do whatever you need to do, and then some crazy creature from the north with the forearms and anger issues fucking creates big problems and kills like 25 guys, and I don't know, I need to get out of here is all I'm saying. People there's new shit that has come to light, and my people have to know about it.
Friend, yes, I understand, and I would tell you this: had you gone with us, you would be in the belly of a great beast, which would not have benefited anybody. However, we do believe we have a way out for you, and we should be able to assist you in that very quickly, actually. I have a question, however, for you, though. The other big bony guy, where did he go? Was he...
Talia is there. She went. The other big bony guy,
Smaller bony guy.
Constantine disappeared in the attack. I'm not sure what became of him.
Disappeared, though, and he was not among those killed by Stone in his haze. Correct?
Talia shrugs.
Okay. He didn't say anything before or anything?
We had bigger fish to fry.
No. We can definitely get you out of here, and I believe we can do that very soon. We might have a break in this to get you out. Because we also need to get down to the tomb.
Yeah, your girlfriend left 5 minutes ago.
Where did she to the tomb?
She points towards the window, which is open.
I miss Talia.
Very good at that. We will get you out of here. That is still a promise I have made, and I plan to keep it. I will go talk with my companions. Oh, you don't want to hear this right at this moment, but wait right here. I will go talk to them. But thank you for the information on Constantine.
Now wait just a second, and the door closes.
Oh, so many things to do and so little time. And I'll head back down.
All right. So, Anastas, you were going to try pushing this thing?
Yep.
Strength check. Or strong check, I should say. This is at -6.
Wrong.
Ooh.
Get strong, Anastas.
Okay.
Can't move it.
So, you can move it. Anastas, you get under the yoke of this thing and press, pushing it upward. It cranks and grinds. Every step of the gears is torturous, but you are able to push it. And as you do, the mobile of these hanging rocks, which as Stone is looking at them, it dawns upon Stone.
I missed like everything you said for the past 20 seconds.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yeah, the last thing you said was as you do.
As you push it up, It's slow. It cranks against the gears. The mobile of these large rocks and orbs, which Stone suddenly realizes represents the planets and the firmament. It slowly starts winding its way back upwards. Unfortunately, you do not get very far before you have to stop. Anastas, you can put, well, gosh, you are not...
Could Stone help?
Stone can help. The consequence of this was failure was going to be exhaustion. I'm right now trying to decide if Anastas can become exhausted.
I don't. More accurately, the way that we've been describing, no.
Okay.
Is there something different that would be similar?
But the reason that is because you are using will in order to do this. How do you feel about taking a corruption?
How does that work?
So you'll take 1d4 temporary corruption as you are trying to hold it together and use your will against this thing and are failing to do so.
Yeah.
What's your resolute?
Why isn't my 1d4 rolling?
I can do it. 1.
Oh, that's fine.
Not permanent though.
No,
Not
it's only
permanent.
temporary. That would be brutal.
Savage.
Boom.
Just the worst.
I'm obviously straining. You see my the joints are beginning to cramp together, and I just keep pushing and struggling and yelling.
Dorian, what's your cunning? It's
My
more
cunning?
than a 9. Okay.
Yes.
While Anastas
16.
is doing this, you're looking up at the stars and planets, and you realize the problem almost immediately. Most of the gears are rusted. The hinges and the pulleys are in bad repair. There is debris in some of them. Just the mechanism itself is old and has not been taken care of. You'll probably need to it would probably make it easier if you spent some time clearing that out.
I let them know and kind of gesture towards Onse and Alexander, I think would be the two best suited for climbing around up there, and I can help direct them where the problems are.
Alexander, you look up. In order to get to some of these places, you are going to have to be dangling 50 and 60 feet above the floor with nothing between you but some big orbs and lanterns and things that this thing is holding up.
No one will catch you.
Possible, but I wouldn't want to. It takes some work. We'll say
I
that.
have other engagements this evening. This would be quite helpful to make it easier.
So
Do you
at this
perhaps
point,
have
it's
some-
10 o'clock at night. It is going to take you some hours to clean this thing off.
Can't do it tonight.
I would say not tonight. May I also? Well, first of all, hopefully I told you guys that Constantine was disappeared during Stone's the haze, and was not counted amongst the dead as far as we know. That also said, Lyra's going to the tomb tonight. I hope I had mentioned that, but I didn't realize it was 10 p.m.
Constantine walks with the pilgrim's light. I will trust in this moment that he is doing what he must.
Also, the people want to get out, now, and we have a way to get them out?
We had made arrangements with the dead hand.
Was that night? Or was that another time?
We just have to get them to the tunnel.
We have to get them to the. Yes.
Okay. They're growing
Can any
restless.
of these things be accomplished in tandem?
I believe we could start heading to the tomb and get them to the tunnel at the same time.
Why are we going to the tomb?
No. There's a
Well,
few
the
shrines
shrine.
along the way, and
Well,
From
you
what it
itself
sounds
is a
like
shrine,
we do
isn't
not
it?
have time to
tomb
solve shrines.
itself is also a shrine, yes.
No, it's not. No.
I thought
This is the tomb of the emperor. It's not a shrine.
yes. Not a shrine, okay.
Correct. Although, I mean, if you want to get into comparative religion, we could discuss about the pending apotheosis of the
I
Indaranax and
reach
how
up and grab the DM by the front of his shirt and start shaking him. Maybe sometime.
I mean, the artifacts that are within that tomb are immensely powerful.
Yes. Could be
And
very
yet do
helpful
not
going
directly
forward.
relate to our goal here.
No
Yes,
doubt
it does.
valuable, this one.
It does. Talia says it does strike me as side quest activity.
Thanks, Talia.
I did not realize that seeing into the well of Isho would give one the ability to break the fourth wall.
I've seen the fabric of the universe. I understand what we're doing here.
Well, then Lyra should be standing outside the tomb no matter how long it takes until we get there, and then she'll say, I'm going tonight no matter what, just like a side quest.
He's got you there.
Anyway,
Constantine was not among
Well-
the dead.
He doesn't have a map, so that's a thing.
There's a lot to accomplish in this city still.
Right, let's get these refugees out of the city. I think that should be priority number one. Then we
It would be
return.
great trouble to secure them of passage out. It would be a shame if they did not make it.
Agreed.
I say we
Then
get them out.
We take it to the lower city and we try our luck.
If I need to break away to deal with the tomb, I will do that. But
and no one would be fixing the shrine in our absence.
Onse, do you think with enough time you'd be able to clear that up there? Going slow and careful, of course.
Tanari says on say call ren kit.
Our friend may not be in the best shape, both literally and also figuratively in this case.
We
Well-
are on say call ren kit.
Oh. On, say, Kalren kit, if given enough time, do you think you may be able to clear some of this debris?
It is not our function.
Right. Oh, by the way, Anastas, Ansei Kalren kit here, is very interested in deposing the Pontiff as well. I don't know if we had mentioned that yet.
Specifically murdering the pontiff, not deposing.
And that we are aligned.
Yes, deposing his head from his shoulders.
He's
This
also
one does
grown a
not
sense
look-
of humor.
That was Talia. Sorry.
Oh. I missed her. Missed that acerbic wit.
Well, I say we get the refugees out of here first. We return to this clock tower to work on clearing the debris and getting the shrine after we check to see if Constantine was amongst the dead or to see where he may have gone.
Do not worry yourself over Constantine. That will be a challenge for another day. Perhaps something my meeting may illuminate.
Did you not finish your meetings?
I have but one left.
Also, Stone is like holding the stab wounds that are still evident. I'm at 2 HP. Stone will go wherever you guys want to go. But Stone will probably die.
Don't want to
get
stay
there.
here and work on this? I don't.
Sounds great to Stone. It is exactly what Stone wants to be doing at this moment.
So
So we split the party for the 50th time, and Alexander comes
It's
with
never
us to
bitten us
help
in the
get rid
ass
of the.
before.
I don't think
Okay.
Stone has the capacity to fix this.
Yeah, I don't know how.
You got to climb up there. This is
I can
this
clean
is just a
some
job
herb
that
anyway.
needs to be done tomorrow morning.
I am
The
at
job
2
that needs to be done
HP.
tonight. There's three things that need to be done tonight, and I don't think the clock tower is going anywhere.
I am at 2 HP.
What are the three things? Okay, so we have to get the refugees out of here. What are the other two things that have to happen tonight?
I have to beat Milana
and the
and that-
Emperor's Tomb.
And the tomb.
I do think the two might be getting led to because side quests need to be like my individual session potentially. Patrick has alluded to that before, so that can probably wait.
Well, we are at
Okay.
10
Break
o'clock,
fourth
so
wall.
why don't we talk about this? Like, for Rizzle.
I think we get the
Refugees should be the
out
easiest.
tonight.
Yeah, we have
Let's
them
get the
here.
refugees
Milana.
out of here, and then we can decide if we're splitting up or not. Or people can go their separate ways. I can come back, and
I have
Stone,
two things
Stone
that I
and
want-
Dorian
Yeah.
could continue to work on the shrine, clearing what we can.
So here's where I am at. Stone will go wherever you want Stone to go. He will argue against it for the same reasons that I'm about to make. Whenever he casts his spell to turn invisible now, he has a chance to gain more corruption, which means more permanent corruption in his case. And he is also grievously wounded with no way to heal himself at this moment
Okay.
because of the self-same reason.
So how about this? Stone can wait here at the
Ooh.
clock tower.
Ansei Kalren Kit starts speaking up, speaking very animatedly as this discussion is happening. Dorian, you're having a really hard time following because he's going very quickly. They are going very quickly. Can you make a cunning check?
Any modifiers?
Because of the speed, -2.
Got it.
Excellent.
Ansei's describing the Emperor's Tomb. He is saying something about secrets, about pyromancers. You swear you heard something about corruption. You need him to slow down. You need them to slow down. I
say that to them.
Yep, and
Whoa,
after a
easy
moment,
now. Slow down.
Ansei says, the corruption, the Barulo, the Endaranex, the eternal fire, the eternal flame heals corruption.
Oh.
I think we go.
I think we get the refugees out of here, and then we all go to the tomb, save for Anastas, if he has to go tonight for that
Can
other
you show
meeting.
me the way on the map?
I mark it for him. I show it to him.
Is that something I can feasibly remember, Cap?
Easily.
Easily. You guys go. Well, I'll escort. We'll go together to the tunnel. I will go meet Murano, and then I will catch up with you in the tomb. We will deal with the shrine here after a night's rest, some healing, and we can take the time to actually clear this out.
All
I'm
right.
still concerned about only having 2 HP.
I know you are. I would be too, but we'll just protect you.
Okay.
All right. How do you make your way to the secret tunnel entrance with these humans in tow?
Secret tunnel.
Swiftly through the Undercity.
Yeah.
Can I get a group discreet check?
Oh boy.
Who's got the worst discreet? Me.
Probably an Astos.
No modifiers, I take it.
No modifiers.
Yeah.
God damn, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Lucci time.
Critical! Yes, Alexander.
I am the shadow.
Okay, I need you guys to add up this result margins here.
For
19 against 16.
And so you managed to sneak through this
my
unnoticed.
You're fucking welcome.
Literal Corrovid just wandering around in car shop.
Through the cover of night and Guile creating distractions, you do notice that there are fewer guards of order in the lower city as you had requested. Thanking the constable, you make your way through the secret tunnel and out into Karstop Township. As your human refugees, Sam, Hod, and Isabel get there, they open the door and see a field of human corpses outside the Basilica to Saint Istolt. Sam, usually not one to be at a loss for words, stammers. Oh, fuck. Well, what happened?
No longer your concern.
No longer my concern. These are the people I was coming out here to warn.
Well, warn them you may.
Jakara happened.
Well, the E-show, damn it. Was I safer back in there or out here? Now I'm not so sure.
Is there a nearby settlement outside of the city from here? Can you make the trek there? There were a few survivors in the tavern. And by few, I mean one.
We have made arrangements with allies here in Karstop. They were told to meet us outside the wall to escort you far away from this land.
And our duty has been fulfilled. You see two Najit emerge from the darkness. They are wearing traveling garb, and from a distance might look like humans. They're like fully clothed. Wait, you want us to go with them?
Or stay here.
Oh, jeez.
You are free from this place. Take your opportunity and live.
Hod puts a hand on Sam's shoulder and says, "He's right. You know, we can get out now. Let's take our blessing."
Forget this nightmare like a bad dream.
Yeah, all right. We'll head north. Thanks for your help.
It is a small part of the repayment to the debt we owe you.
And,
Question.
Yeah.
Is Talia leaving with them?
You expected her to, but she does not.
The warrior's light dies slowly.
I've seen the fabric of the universe, and I can tell you right now, where they're going is nowhere safer than where we are right now.
Indeed.
All right. Anastas, you are headed up to the Temple Gardens, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. The Temple Gardens are a tangled mess. They have not been cared for in centuries. The plants are, being eaten by insects. There is grubs and mold all over the place. It is festering. Things are wild and overgrown. Nothing like any gardens that you have seen in human settlements. There are nests of, like I said, maggots and grubs eating the plants. But it is quiet. You do not find anybody here for a long time. Sir, it's a little bit labyrinthine, and you're wandering around. And at the center of the gardens, you come to a tree that is like wild and overgrown, and hanging from the tree is a headless Najit, a skeleton, and hanging around its neck is its skull, like crushed up and broken. This was a Najit that was executed. Its head completely destroyed, and it left here as a warning.
Ominous. For how long must I wait?
As you are waiting there, and you look up at the corpse, a horrible dawning comes over you. That the skeleton you are looking at is fresh and white. It is the body of Constantine. Behind you, you hear Nekitus's voice say, "I told you if I saw you again, I would have to kill you."
You are welcome to try.
And that is where we are going to end today's session. Thanks, everyone online. We'll be back in probably 2 weeks or so. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe.